Welcome to Secrets of the Ancients, where the mysteries of ancient history come to life. From forgotten Egyptian dynasties to wonders carved in stone, we dive deep into the hidden past, discover the secrets, subscribe, and journey into a world where time speaks. In 1979, Belgian civil engineer Robert Bauval was waiting for a flight at Heathrow Airport in London, heading to his work site in Sudan. To pass the time, he picked up a book called The Sirius Mystery by Robert Temple. The book explored the beliefs of the Dogon tribe, an African ethnic group living in modern-day Mali.
For thousands of years, every 50 years, the Dogon held a sacred ceremony called Sigwi, where they performed a complex dance inspired by the apparent movement of the star Sirius. They believed this ritual helped them connect with the spirits of the dead.
Here's the strange part. Sirius is actually a binary star system, two stars, not one, known as Sirius A and Sirius B. Sirius B orbits Sirius A once every 50 years, and somehow the Dogon were aware of this long before modern science confirmed it. That's why their rituals happened every 50 years, aligned with the star's orbit. Sirius is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and is part of the Canis Major constellation.
But here's the kicker. Sirius B is invisible to the naked eye and was only discovered about 150 years ago using powerful telescopes. The first photograph of Sirius B was taken in 1970.
So how on earth did the Dogon, a relatively simple tribe with no modern instruments, know about Sirius B's orbit? It requires advanced astronomical knowledge.
Robert Temple, the author of the book, concluded that the Dogon's astronomical knowledge was inherited from ancient Egyptians thousands of years ago. To truly understand this mystery, Temple argued, we need to look deeper into ancient Egyptian history.
Inspired by this theory, Robert Bauval began a research journey that would take more than 10 years to complete.
Eventually, I developed a theory that could potentially rewrite everything we know about ancient Egypt.
He concluded that Egypt's Nile River and the layout of its pyramids mirror the sky, specifically Orion's Belt.
I was born in Alexandria, Egypt. At age 16, I moved with my family to London, where I became a civil engineer and lived most of my life. Like many people, I was always fascinated by the pyramids. In 1982, I visited the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. While there, I saw a large aerial photo of the Giza pyramids hanging on a wall. It was taken from a plane flying about 2 kilometers above the site. The image was striking. The massive scale of the pyramids made every detail clear.
Standing in front of the picture, 3 questions popped into his mind, and he couldn't shake them.
First, why are there exactly 3 pyramids? Why not 2, 4, or 5? The mainstream explanation is that they were built as tombs for 3 kings of Egypt's 4th dynasty, around 2500 BC, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. But that raises more questions. For example, why did Djedefre, Khufu's son, build his pyramid in Abu Rawash, about 10 kilometers away? Why didn't he build next to his father on the Giza plateau? Another 4th dynasty king, Shepseskaf, son of Menkaure, chose to build his tomb in Saqqara, 18 kilometers away. Why not in Giza with the others?
Second, why is the 3rd pyramid, Menkaure's, so much smaller than the other 2? It's only 65 meters tall, about half the height of the 1st and 2nd pyramids.
Egyptologists often say it was to cut costs, but that doesn't add up. Menkaure's pyramid used massive amounts of red granite, with some blocks weighing over 10 tons, transported all the way from Aswan, more than 1,000 kilometers away. That's expensive and difficult. If saving money was the goal, why not use limestone like the others?
Third, and most puzzling to Bauval, why isn't the 3rd pyramid aligned with the first 2? If you draw a straight line connecting the centers of the 1st and 2nd pyramids, it slightly misses the 3rd. It's as if the 3rd pyramid is out of place. Some say it was because of geological issues with the plateau, maybe cracks or unstable ground, but no solid geological studies back this up. There's no proof that building the 3rd pyramid in line would have caused it to collapse.
These 3 questions lit a fire in me. Why 3 pyramids at Giza? Why is the 3rd one so much smaller? And why is it slightly offset from the others? For years, these questions puzzled me. I just couldn't accept the explanations offered by mainstream Egyptologists.
As a civil engineer, he was convinced that the sizes and positions of the pyramids were all part of a unified master plan.
I believed they were designed and built all at once, not like a king building his pyramid, then his son saying, "I'll build mine next to Dad's," and so on. No, it was more like designing a modern city, where the roads, buildings, schools, and hospitals are all planned together. There had to be a master blueprint behind the pyramids. But where was it?
He didn't find the answer until a work trip took him to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. One weekend, he went on a desert safari with friends.
One night, while walking with a French friend who was into astronomy, the friend pointed to a specific group of stars and said, "Look, 3 stars, not in a straight line. The smallest one leans a bit to the east."
Robert looked where his friend was pointing and suddenly shouted out loud.
His friend asked, "What did you see?" I replied, "I see the 3 pyramids of Giza."
That moment changed everything. He had finally found the key to the mystery, the stars of Orion's Belt. Orion's Belt is a trio of stars in the larger constellation Orion, which represents a mighty hunter. In that moment, Bauval realized that the layout of the pyramids on the Giza plateau perfectly matched the pattern of Orion's Belt. This explained their different sizes and spacing.
The 3 stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, are similar in brightness and size to the 3 pyramids. A line connecting Alnitak and Alnilam extends just past Mintaka, just as the line connecting the first 2 pyramids veers slightly away from the third, Menkare's pyramid. This was the unified plan I had been searching for, a groundbreaking discovery, and it was just the beginning.
Bauval shared his theory with several Egyptologists, including Dr. Harry James, head of Egyptology at the British Museum. But Dr. James dismissed the Pyramid-Orion alignment as a mere coincidence, which was, of course, frustrating.
Still, I didn't give up. I then spoke to the well-known British Egyptologist Dr. Edwards, who was intrigued by the idea and encouraged me to continue my research.
Bauval took things further. If the Giza pyramids were designed to match Orion's belt, could other structures also have been aligned with celestial bodies? He turned to the pyramid texts, some of the oldest sacred writings found inside the pyramids of Unas, Teti, and others in Saqqara.
These texts describe the king's journey to the afterlife. What caught my attention was the frequent mention of a flowing waterway in the sky, as if there was a heavenly river.
One passage says, "You lift me up to the winding waterway and place me among the imperishable gods, the imperishable stars."
Another reads, "The winding waterway overflows, the fields of reeds fill with water, and I am taken there to the eastern side of the sky, to the place where the gods created me, where I am reborn as a young man."
There's no doubt these texts describe a cosmic waterway, a journey from west to east across the sky, allowing the king to live among the immortal stars. The ancient Egyptians believed the stars were the home of the gods.
Many Egyptologists interpret this winding waterway as the Milky Way, which looks like a meandering river in the night sky, clearly visible on certain nights from Earth.
One particularly powerful line from the Hermetic text says, "Egypt is an image of the sky."
Most people read that as a metaphor for beauty, harmony, or peace. But to me, it was meant literally. Egypt was a physical reflection of the heavens. Through my research, I concluded that Egypt, with the Nile, the 7 massive pyramids, and everything tied to the 4th dynasty, was a mirror image of the sky. The Nile represented the Milky Way, the celestial Nile, and the 7 pyramids mirrored 7 key stars. Each pyramid corresponded to a star. The pyramid at Abu Rawash matched the star Saif. The 3 Giza pyramids aligned with Orion's belt. The Zawiyat el-Aryan pyramid matched Bellatrix, and the pyramids of Dashur lined up with stars in the Hyades cluster. Suddenly, the deeper meaning of that ancient line became clear. Egypt is the sky. To the ancient Egyptians, this wasn't poetry, it was reality. They held special reverence for the constellation Orion, which they called Sa or Sahu, and for Sirius, known to them as Sopdet. The rising of Sirius signaled the annual Nile flood, the lifeblood of Egyptian civilization. Astronomically, Sirius, known as Al-Shira al-Yamaniya in Arabic, is connected to the constellation Orion, which appears just ahead of it in the sky. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Sirius was associated with the goddess Isis, while Orion represented Osiris. The northern stars, on the other hand, were linked to Seth, Osiris's brother and rival in the myths. This theory leads to an important realization. The pyramids weren't built randomly or independently as many previously thought. Instead, they followed a unified design, part of a grand architectural plan deeply rooted in religious beliefs, land surveying, and extremely advanced astronomical knowledge. From the start, there was a decision to build 7 pyramids at specific locations as part of a single cohesive project. The overall design was planned all at once, even though actual construction might have taken 100 or even 200 years to complete. That wasn't an issue. It's not like King Khufu just decided to build his pyramid at Giza, and then King Khafre came along and chose to build his next to it. That narrative doesn't hold up. The popular idea that the bent pyramid was a mistake, that its angle was changed mid-construction, and that's why the red pyramid was built nearby, isn't accurate, according to my theory. As we'll see in the next episodes, there's no such thing as an error or coincidence here. Claims in some books about design or construction mistakes are, in reality, intentional, made to look like mistakes. Take the red pyramid at Dashur, for example. It lines up with the star Aldebaran, while the bent pyramid matches the star Elnath, both in the Taurus constellation. In astronomical literature, Aldebaran is known as a red giant. It's burned through its hydrogen and now fuses helium, creating intense heat and giving it a reddish glow. Do you really think it's just a coincidence that the red pyramid is aligned with Aldebaran, the red star, and that it's even made of reddish limestone? I don't think so. After extensive research into the connection between the pyramid texts and the stars, I published my theory in a scholarly archaeology journal called Discussions in Egyptology. I felt that I had completed my mission by linking the pyramids to the stars and was ready to stop there. But then, a tiny observation would soon open the door to an even bigger discovery, the true age of the pyramids.
The past holds secrets, and we're here to uncover them. Join us on this historical journey through time. Subscribe now and be part of the